I thought Tyler and I were fine until my debit card was declined, my account drained by secret gambling charges, and he just called me dramatic when I confronted him. I thought I had a pretty normal relationship with Tyler until the day my debit card got declined at the grocery store and I found out my account was almost empty. I remember standing there with a cart full of food, trying to smile at the cashier like nothing was wrong, while my face got hot and my hands started shaking. I checked my banking app right there in the parking lot, and there were 6 payments I did not recognize. Small charges at first, then 2 bigger ones from a gaming site and a sports betting app. My stomach dropped so hard it felt like I missed a step on the stairs. I called Tyler right away. He picked up on the third ring, sounding annoyed, like I was bothering him in the middle of something important. I asked him if he knew anything about those charges, and there was this weird pause that made my skin go cold. And he said, real calm, real slow, "You need to stop accusing me of stuff." I told him my card was the only one linked to the account, and he was the only person who ever used my phone when I was asleep or in the shower. He sighed like I was being difficult, then said he had a rough week and needed to borrow a little. Just until Friday. He said it like he was talking about a cup of sugar. I sat in my car in the grocery store parking lot with the engine running and my hands locked around the wheel. I asked him why he didn't tell me. He laughed, actually laughed, and said I would have made a big deal out of it. Then he hit me with, "I was going to pay you back. Don't be so dramatic." That wasn't even the worst part. When I got home, Tyler was on my couch eating the chips I bought the week before. He didn't even look guilty. He looked irritated that I was home early. I told him to show me where the money went. He rolled his eyes and said he used some of it to cover rent because his paycheck was late. I asked him why the charges were from betting apps. He stared at the TV for a second, then said it was just for fun and he was trying to win the money back. Trying to win it back. He had taken money out of my account to gamble it away, and he was acting like I was the problem for asking about it. I told him to leave. He stood up so fast the chip bag crinkled in his hand. His face changed after that, like he knew the game was over, and he switched right into this fake hurt voice. He said I was overreacting, that couples help each other, that I was making him feel like a criminal. Then he looked at me with this flat little stare and said, "If you loved me, you wouldn't care about money this much." That sentence still makes my jaw tighten. I asked him how long he had been doing this. He shrugged and said a few weeks, maybe a month. Maybe more. Like he couldn't even bother to keep track of how long he'd been stealing from me. I was standing there in my own living room, listening to him chew and talk like he hadn't just ripped me off, and I could feel my ears burning. My hands were clenched so tight my nails left little half-moons in my palms. I didn't yell. I wish I had. I just walked into the bedroom, locked the door, and pulled up my bank statements. He had also used my card for gas, food, and a subscription service I had never seen before. There were enough charges to cover half my rent. I sat on the bed and just kept staring at the screen until my eyes hurt. The next morning I called my bank, filed fraud reports, and changed every password I had. Then I called Tyler's mom because I knew he would try to lie first and cry second. She was quiet for a long time after I told her. Then she said, "Yeah, that sounds like him," and I heard a whole lot of tired in her voice. Turns out he had done this before to an ex of his, just not this badly. That made something inside me go from hurt to furious. I packed his things into trash bags while he was at work. Clothes, chargers, the ugly mug he always used, all of it. I left the bags by the front door and texted him one sentence. "Your stuff is outside. Don't come back." He blew up my phone for hours. First angry, then sorry, then angry again. He said I was ruining his life. He said he only did it because he was stressed. He said I was abandoning him when he needed me. I blocked him and my hands were still shaking when I did it, but it felt good, like finally opening a window in a room that had been too hot for too long. 2 days later, the bank approved the fraud claim and refunded most of the money. I still had to pay a few fees and I was still stuck cleaning up the mess, but I got my own apartment changed to just my name. I also found out his landlord had been trying to reach him about unpaid rent, so apparently he had been lying to me about that too. The last thing I heard from Tyler was a voicemail where he told me I was cold and heartless. I deleted it without listening to the rest. People always talk about cheating like it's the worst thing someone can do in a relationship. But stealing from the person who trusts you, then acting like they're cruel for noticing, that cuts in a different way. It makes you feel stupid for ever opening your home, your wallet, and your life to them. I don't feel stupid anymore though. I feel done. If you like this story, then follow us for more.